Welcome back to Superbly Sad Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
And today's critique is based on excerpts from a really great SpeakDuo lesson that focuses on some advanced C1 and C2 idioms.
It is. And you should definitely head over to SpeakDuo.com. You can meet new people from all over the world, practice your English on video calls, and just get so much more confident.
Absolutely.
So let's just jump straight into analyzing these phrases for advanced learners.
Let's do it.
First up, we have a sight for sore eyes. The lesson defines this as, something or someone you're extremely happy to see.
Right, like the example of a hotel bed after a really long flight.
Exactly. But the nuance here, compared to just saying, I was happy to see it, is really about relief, isn't it?
Oh, completely. It carries this powerful sense of visual gratification and, like you said, relief, usually after some kind of difficulty or exhaustion. It's much stronger.
So for a work example, you could say something like, after 3 days of staring at spreadsheets, that draft design mockup was a sight for sore eyes.
Perfect. Or for an IELTS-style question, maybe describe a person who helped you.
Oh, yeah.
You could say, when I was stuck on the mountain hike, seeing the rescue team approach was truly a sight for sore eyes. It just implies that immediate end of suffering.
Okay, moving on. To be all ears. This means to listen very carefully, give your full attention.
And compared to just saying, I'm paying close attention, which sounds a bit passive, I'm all ears is active, it's enthusiastic. It signals that you are ready and eager to listen right now.
It shows a real commitment to the conversation.
Exactly. So, in a professional setting, you could say to your boss, thank you for scheduling this meeting. I know the Q4 results are critical, so I'm all ears regarding your strategy.
I like that. Or describing a conversation for an exam. When my colleague started describing his new project, I knew it would be innovative. I told him I was all ears.
Nice. Next up, to pull out all the stops.
Which means using all your effort, energy, everything you've got to achieve something.
And the key here is separating this from just working hard. Pulling out all the stops emphasizes maximum resource utilization. You're holding nothing back.
Every single lever has been pulled.
Precisely. So for a demanding client, you might say, for this proposal, we need to pull out all the stops and include the highest quality visualizations possible.
And as an example of an achievement, the team pulled out all the stops to meet the deadline, working nights and weekends, and the successful outcome made it all worth it.
Yeah, that captures it perfectly.
Okay, next one is when push comes to shove. This is for when a situation gets serious and you have to take action.
And the nuance here is avoiding confusion with a more general phrase like, if necessary. When push comes to shove, pinpoints a specific breaking point. It's the moment of truth, where excuses have to stop.
And practical needs take over.
Exactly. In a work context. I know we prefer remote work, but when push comes to shove and the server crashes, we need a technical team physically present.
Right, or describing a tough decision. I generally like to save money, but when push comes to shove, investing in quality tools for my business is essential.
Yeah, you can't avoid it.
Let's talk about to be on a hiding to nothing.
Ah, a great one. It means you have, basically no realistic chance of success.
Like arguing with someone who's already furious.
Right. And this is so much more dramatic than just saying something is pointless. It implies you're still putting in effort, you're still in the fight, but the outcome is already a predetermined failure.
It emphasizes the futility of it.
It really does. Professionally, you could say, trying to secure the new infrastructure budget right now is being on a hiding to nothing, given the company-wide hiring freeze.
Makes sense. And for a competitive situation, competing against nationally ranked players when you're just starting out is being on a hiding to nothing. So I prefer to compete at my level.
Okay. Next up, to rub salt into the wound.
This one's pretty clear, making a bad situation even worse.
Yeah, but it's so much more emotive than just making things worse. It implies a deliberate or at least a deeply insensitive aggravation of pain that's already there.
It's like you're targeting the existing wound.
Exactly. So, a tough work situation. The project was already behind schedule and the new mandate to cut the team budget only rubbed salt into the wound.
Ouch.
Or reflecting on some bad luck. Losing my laptop was bad enough, but finding out my backup hard drive failed the next day Truly rubbed salt into the wound.
That is a terrible day.
A very terrible day.
Now, what about like getting blood from a stone?
Right. Trying to get something from someone who just refuses to give it.
And while it does mean extremely difficult to obtain, the idiom really focuses on the futility of it all. It highlights the stubbornness of the source, the person, not just how hard the task is.
It's an immovable barrier.
Yes, so in business, we need the final sign-off from the legal team, but getting a straight answer out of them is currently like getting blood from a stone.
And for describing a person, my former professor was brilliant, but getting him to recommend me for a scholarship was like getting blood from a stone. He avoided all formal requests.
Okay, next we have to have another think coming.
This means someone is mistaken and they really need to reconsider.
And the key here is the tone. It's not a neutral, you are mistaken. It's sharp, it's authoritative, almost confrontational. It's a serious warning.
It's a very definitive correction.
It is. When talking about competitors, for instance, if the competitor thinks we're going to sell our patents cheaply, they've got another think coming. I like that. Or when a plan changes. I thought the university application process would be easy, but I had another think coming when I saw the required essay length.
And finally, let's look at to know which side your bread is buttered on.
This is about understanding what benefits you and who to treat well because of it.
Yeah, and it goes a bit beyond just being savvy or practical. The idiom implies a strategic, often self-interested behavior. It's based on understanding power dynamics, and it can have a slightly cynical edge.
Right, it's about career strategy.
Absolutely. Like, our junior analyst always volunteers for the CEO's pet projects. He definitely knows which side his bread is buttered on.
And for discussing success, while hard work is crucial, you also have to know which side your bread is buttered on, meaning you must build relationships with key decision makers.
Okay, so we've covered the nuance in all 9 of these.
We have. Now let's test that understanding. We're going to run through a quick quiz.
And yeah, feel free to pause the critique here if you want a moment to think about the answers.
All right. Question 1. In the lesson, the hotel bed after a long journey is described as a sight for sore eyes. What does this idiom mainly express? Is it option A, something or someone you're deeply relieved and genuinely happy to see again? Option B, something or someone that looks so unpleasant that it almost hurts to look at it? Or option C, something or someone that appears suddenly and leaves you briefly shocked or unsure?
The answer is option A. Remember, a sight for sore eyes is all about that feeling of deep relief and happiness, especially after a difficult time, just like that hotel bed.
Question 2. The slides say the company pulled all the stops for a product launch. What does this phrase suggest about their behavior? Option A, they tried a few extra ideas while still keeping most of their usual effort in reserve. Option B, they used every available resource and pushed themselves to the absolute limit. Or option C, they reduced their spending and focused only on the safest and cheapest options.
And that's option B. To pull out all the stops means going all in, using every single resource and putting in maximum effort for the launch.
Question 3, according to the lesson, when push comes to shove, you may still go to the gym. What is the key idea here? Option A, when people first begin to disagree and the discussion starts to become uncomfortable. Option B, when a plan sounds attractive in theory but remains completely unrealistic in practice. Or option C, when a situation finally becomes serious enough that real and decisive action is required.
Yep, the answer is option C. When push comes to shove is that tipping point where necessity forces you to take action even if you don't want to.
Okay, question 4. Arguing with someone angry is described as being on a hiding to nothing. What does this imply about the argument? Option A, you have virtually no chance of success, however hard you argue your position. Option B, you might lose the argument now, but you will probably win it again in the future. Or option C, you risk damaging the relationship, although the factual outcome is still wide open.
The answer is definitely option A. If you're on a hiding to nothing, the attempt is futile. You have no realistic chance of success, just like arguing with someone who's furious.
Question 5. A friend rubs salt into the wound by laughing after a test failure. What does this mean? Option A, to remind someone of a past event in order to help them learn a useful lesson. Option B, to make an already painful situation feel even worse through words or behavior. Or option C, to change the topic quickly so that a difficult situation is not discussed in detail.
The answer there is option B. To rub salt into the wound is all about intensifying existing pain or making a bad situation feel even worse.
Question 6. Getting her brother to talk about his feelings is like getting blood from a stone. What does this highlight? Option A, the information eventually appears, but only after patient listening and support. Option B, the person shares details freely, yet those details are usually exaggerated or unclear. Or option C, the person is so unwilling to share that obtaining anything from them feels almost impossible.
That's option C. This idiom perfectly highlights the near impossibility of getting something from a very stubborn or unwilling source.
Question 7. The lesson gives the example, if you think I'm lending you money again, you've got another think coming. What nuance does this carry? Option A, the listener is wrong in their assumption and must seriously reconsider their expectations. Option B, the listener may be correct, but they should delay their request. Or option C, the listener is partly right, although some small details still need to be negotiated.
And the answer is option A. To have another think coming is a firm, almost aggressive warning that someone's belief or expectation is completely wrong and must be changed.
And our final question, number 8. Mark knows which side his bread is buttered on when he supports his manager's ideas. What does this suggest about Mark? Option A, he always follows his principles, even if doing so harms his professional position. Option B, he understands where his advantages come from and behaves to protect those benefits. Or option C, he enjoys taking risks at work and often changes sides to keep things interesting.
The answer is B. This phrase suggests Mark is strategic. He knows who influences his success and acts in a way that protects his own interests, which is why he supports his manager.
So I think the key takeaway here is that for advanced English, it's not just about knowing the definition. It's about understanding the context, the tone, and the specific emotional nuance of these phrases.
Absolutely. We've gone through 9 really crucial idioms today, so make sure you practice applying them, from feeling the relief of a sight for sore eyes to understanding the strategy behind knowing which side your bread is buttered on. It will make your conversations stand out.
And remember, you can always submit your own work back in again for another critique and review.